From tubes to solid state, these are some of the best integrated amplifiers for $6,000. Hey everyone, I'm Jake from Upscale Audio, and with me,
Jordan from Upscale Audio.
And today we are breaking down 3 of our favorite integrated amplifiers at under $6,000. You're going to hear some of the best tube amplifiers, some of the most awesome solid states. Jordan, tell us about the reference system.
Sure, so starting with our streamer, we did use the Lumen D3, and we outputted the audio into a separate DAC, which was the PrimaLuna EVO 100 DAC. Now from there, we sent wiring to each of the integrateds, and that powered our fine F502 SPs.
We love that system because it's so revealing. You're going to hear all the nuances and depth and detail that you need to hear for a classic showdown like this, so we thought it was awesome. We did listen to a variety of music, but the one that we're going to use to explain the differences that we heard today was Corey Taylor's live acoustic version of Wicked Games. It's an awesome song. We really liked it, and I think we should dive in.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Up first, we have the PrimaLuna EVO 400 integrated amplifier. This is their flagship integrated, and it's going to come in at $5,595. PrimaLuna was founded in 2003 in the Netherlands, and their whole ethos of their company was to give you that rich, warm tube sound, but with modern technology that makes this thing so easy your grandma could use it. It's going to have things such as the adaptive auto bias and bad tube indicator. It's so easy to use. I literally love it. Jordan, let's talk about the tech.
Jumping into the unit itself, this is going to have 6 12AU7s in its preamplifier stage, and we have 8 EL34s power tubes. Now we do have additional bundles on our website for other types of power tubes, so feel free to check those out. But with these 8 EL34s, we are going to output 70 watts of power in ultra linear mode and 38 watts power in triode mode, which, Jake, what's triode?
Triode is going to cut the power in half, but it's going to make it a lot more liquidy and gooey, and it's going to roll off the highs a little bit. So if you do live in an apartment, maybe you rock ultra linear on the weekends, but on a weeknight, maybe you switch over to triode and kind of mellow it out a little bit. It's good for harsher, older recordings. So Jordan, tell me about the rest of the tech.
Sure, so this is going to be a class AB amplifier. Now, I don't know who would mess that up. Now, this does have 5 unbalanced inputs. Now, our unit in particular does have the PhonoStage add-on, which does actually bring our price, I believe, over $6,000. Now, it's 100% an optional add-on, and it would take place of auxiliary number 2 if you do purchase it. Besides that, we do have tape out as well as subwoofer out, and our taps, we have an 8 ohm and a 4 ohm, and that's because it gives you a kind of a choice of what sounds better with your system. Some additional benefits is we have an auto bias mode built in, so no need to do that yourself. And it has a red light indicator if we ever have a bad tube.
Yes, so now that we've gotten all the tech out of the way, let's talk about what you're here for, the sound quality. So the EVO 400, in particular with the track Wicked Games, was the most luxurious and emotionally engaging mid-range, which you really want for a track like that because it gave such a warmth and depth to the vocals, which you really want for an acoustic track with vocals. And it kind of hit that in a way in that the Pathos and the Rega couldn't quite match. Now, they were great in their own ways, but this was just the most luxurious and gooey and warm, all those things you love in a tube. But what if they want something besides a tube? What if they want a hybrid? Up next, we have the Pathos Logos Mark II, which also comes in at $5,595. Now, this is going to be a hybrid, and Pathos does hail from Italy. It was founded in the 90s by 3 audiophiles that wanted to combine the warmth of tube-like sound, but with innovation and precision engineering. And they definitely build some crazy things of every different price range you can imagine. Jordan, talk to me about the tech of this unit right here.
Sure. For the Logos Mark II, like Jake said, it is a hybrid. So we are going to utilize some tubes in the preamplification stage. Now that is going to be 2 6922 tubes. In our rear of the unit, we are going to have a solid state amplifier. Now, this solid state is going to utilize MOSFETs in the output, and that's to give it a tube-like sound signature, even though this is all going to be a digital interface. Now, jumping into our ports, we do get 5 inputs, and that is going to be for the unbalanced. For balanced, we have 2 inputs. Now, our unit does have the high DAC installed. It is an optional piece. If you do get it, it's going to be over 6K for this integrated. But if you do, you get 2 coaxial inputs and 1 USB-B, which allows you to connect to a computer and download the drivers directly from Pathos' website. utilizing this full solid state power, we are going to get 110 watts out, and that is at 8 ohms. At 4 ohms, we get 220 watts. And the very last thing is just going to be that we do get a set of pre-outs. Now that could be utilized for a separate amplifier or technically even a subwoofer. But all that in mind, this sounds absolutely amazing. Jake, tell me more about it.
So to me, the Pathos was the perfect blend of the warmth of the tube sound with the depth that you want to still get that amazing detail out of the music. It's definitely going to give you that blend of the warm, natural sound that you want out of an acoustic track like Wicked Games, but it's going to give you the power and tight articulation and rich detail from that solid state portion of it. So this is for someone who I think maybe likes the flavor of tubes, but definitely doesn't want just full tube sound. They use a lot of technology to give you as close to possible as a tube sound, but still give you the power of solid state. So you're gonna get blacker blacks and a lower noise floor. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. The only thing is carrying this thing, it's so sharp, it has totally scratched up a number of us setting up demos. So you definitely wanna carry it with some mittens. Jordan, let's jump into the solid state. Last and certainly not least, we have the Rega Aethos, which does come in at $5,395, and it is a awesome solid state unit. Now, Rega was founded in 1973 in the UK, and their company was founded on a principle of precision engineering. They got their start with turntables that were simple to use, sound amazing, and the Aethos expands on that ethos. So Jordan, talk to me about the tech.
Sure, jumping into the preamplifier stage, what is very unique about the Aethos is that it does run a Class A circuitry for its preamp, very similar to what we'll find in a tube-based unit. Now, moving on, we do have a full solid-state amplifier, thus this being entirely solid state. Now, that amplifier does use 4 Sanken transistors in the output, allowing this to push out 125 watts at 8 ohms or 160 watts at 4 ohms. Jumping on over to our inputs, we are going to get 5 sets of unbalanced inputs, as well as those people that are looking for a lot of recording functionality. This is kind of like the unit. You have a bunch of functions for that in particular. Moving on from that, we are also going to get a direct input as well as a preamp output. Now that output can be utilized for sending the signal to a separate amplifier, or same as the other units, you can connect that to a subwoofer to incorporate into your system. Now with all that tech out of the way and all the boring stuff for this video, Jake, finish it up. What does this thing sound like?
Yes, the fun part. So the Aethos, I have to say, it just had crystal clear articulation. You heard even the most subtlest details in Corey Taylor's vocals. But on top of that, it had tight controlled attack. You heard every strum of the guitar just perfect and exactly where it needed to be. It had like deep authoritative bass, which like grounded the song and gave it an awesome foundation. But unlike the other units, it definitely was uncolored. It didn't add a lot of warmth to the track. You heard the natural timbre of the instruments and the acoustic guitar that he was using. So if you're not a fan of the tube sound or even that hybrid compromise, and you kind of just want something that has the blackest blacks, that deep authoritative bass, and that tight attack, this is definitely the perfect unit for you. Let's jump into our final thoughts. And that's gonna bring this video to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Now we do wanna say these are not the only 3 good integrated amplifiers for under 6,000. There's a bevy of options, and we will make a blog on our website that will list more options down below after this video comes out. But we wanna give you guys a chance to win a t-shirt. Jordan, how can they win a t-shirt?
Yes, comment down below, out of these 3 options, what would you be taking home?
And we're gonna pick one winner. If you're in the continental United States, we will ship you the Upscale t-shirt of your choice. And maybe we'll even get Kevin to sign it. I don't think he'll do that, but we'll ask him.
Yeah, or we'll sign it and devalue it.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone wants a shirt signed by us. Well, okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and smash that like button, comment down below what we said, and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. And remember, at Upscale,
We will treat your system
like it's ours.